Hello viewers, my name is Rinkoo and I have spent 32 years in the human development space and the last 8 years as a resilience coach. I'm part of also the Kampong Palliative Care Movement, which is a ground-up initiative set up to look out for our caregivers, kampong dwellers, loved ones and families in providing them psychosocial support. Today I'm here to share a little bit about my story as a caregiver. I spent 11 years caregiving both my parents. Now, had I known in that time how to build my resilience, I wouldn't have been so burnt out. So this motivates me and prompts me to want to share my story and some of the strategies that I feel that might help you all on hindsight. My journey started 11 years ago when my father first had his heart attack and then a series of heart attacks. My mom began to suffer from dementia, and so my world was collapsing. I had to look after my parents parallel for 11 years. In the 11 years, let me be honest with all of you. You might ask me what were my resilience strategies and what kept me going. I'll tell you the honest truth. What kept me going was because I felt it was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to love and give back to your parents. They did for you, so you must do for them. The other strategy that I had to use was my mom and dad were completely and utterly dependent on me. There was no way. There was no way out for me. I had to become the parentified daughter. I could not draw my boundaries, and all I knew about love was that love was something to give to other people. It was to serve others, in this case my parents, everyone except my own needs and myself. So there I was as a parentified daughter. I didn't know my boundaries. So if I were to share today a journey on resilience and how to build resilience on hindsight, there are 7 strategies I would like to share with you that comes from my heart. Now, you know that there's so much research out there on resilience. It's monumental. There's information and information. But this is what I did and I hope will be useful for you. Number 1, you need to accept. You need to accept the reality that if such adversity has been thrown on you, life is what it is. I shouldn't have to question why me. Instead, today I would say, why not me? Number 2, you must also remember that you need to really protect your mental health. And it's very, very important for you to be able to say sometimes, I'm not okay, but it's okay not to be okay. Because resilience is built not by people telling you to see things positively or through forced positive thinking. Resilience is built when you show up your own emotions. You must acknowledge your feelings. You must seek support or go inside yourself to express and explain what you are feeling. Because then only you can start to build some resilience around you. Number 3, caregivers, this is a long-term commitment. You cannot project the trajectory of how long you have to caregive. So no matter how hard it is, and I get you, no matter how hard it is, you have to set some boundaries in the process of your journey. You have to. Because primarily, self-care is not selfish. It is so important that you take a moment to yourself. You can do it in any which way that you feel is right. It could be a quick 1 hour sleep. It could be movement. It could be just calling your friend on the phone for 8 minutes. just to talk to a friend. Because 8 minutes will restore you. It's very important to set some boundaries, even if you think for a moment that if I leave my loved one, something is going to happen. Because if you don't set some boundaries, resentment will set in. You will start resenting yourself from tiredness and fatigue, and then you'll start resenting subconsciously your loved ones. So remember, self-care is not selfish. You know, between the time that my parents were with me, every other day you're thinking about the worst, the inevitable, right? The death will eventually come. But between that time that you're looking after them to the time that they have to leave this world, because my parents were so sick, right? I began to appreciate breath. I began to appreciate and have gratitude for it. I began to realize that that's the first thing we are born with and the last thing that we die. I was sensitized to appreciate the beauty of the breath. I never knew when people used to say, breathe, Rinkoo, breathe. But it is important to breathe. I think for many of you caregivers, you may resonate with me. I don't think each of us know how to say that we're doing our best. Please know that when you are taking on the magical role and the beauty of caregiving, no matter how much you do, little or a lot, just know that you're doing your best. That you are doing your best. So it's okay to mess up. It's okay to be upset with your loved one. Just tell yourself the part of resilience building is to know that you're doing your best. Every one of us sometimes makes mistakes because truthfully, we're just trying to do our best. Please don't try to be a superhero. Not the superhero like the heroes, the nurse heroes, the heroes of this world. Not that superhero. The superhero like a Superman. That you have to do everything in your power, right, to look after your loved ones. That without you, it can't go on. Because it can. Because you need other resources and support. So that is why the Kampong Palliative Care is here for you. I want you to remember that you need that connection with other people. I needed that connection with other people. I needed support. I just didn't know where to look for it. We're here for you. We're here to provide you that psychosocial support. We know what it's like out there. We know. Connection is the antidote to caregiving loneliness. We're here for you. Please reach out to us because caregiving shouldn't be a lonely journey. I learned that the hard way. And if I went through this again, I would now know to remember my own 7 strategies. They're not rocket science. They're really quite simple. It's just about processing. But at least I know one thing, that next time I take on a role like that, I'm really not alone. But I have some people to help me.